how to Yu-Gi-Oh. This is our first video, and this is the first video to a series we're gonna start. Pretty much just showing you how to play different decks, because a lot of people might want to make a new deck, but they don't know enough about it, or how to play it even. So this first deck that I was gonna show you how to play is Satellarknights. I like it a lot. It's a pretty fun deck. I built it in real life. That's what I use. So this is just a hand I drew on Dueling Network, and I'll show you kind of how to go from here. You would activate Reinforcement in the Army, add Deneb to your hand. Now Deneb is one of the best cards of your deck. He lets you search and add stuff to your hand, so you're usually going to want to go to Deneb with Rhoda, but there are other situations that I'll show you where you will not. You would normal summon Deneb, and you normally want to add Altair unless you already have an Altair in your hand. Then you might want to add Vega, and I can explain that why in a sec. So people might want to try to rush and get out stuff first turn, but don't worry about it. Just set some cards and end your turn. Now, since this is just a demonstration, we're not going to do an actual duel for now. This is just me showing you how to run the deck. And don't be afraid to use this Stellar Nova Alpha. This is a great card that you're going to want to use to get your Deneb in the grave, so next turn you can use Altair. So let's say someone activated something, and I used Stellar Nova Alpha and negated it and tributed them off, and I draw a card. Then let them attack, do whatever they want, unless you've got like a deep prison set. But don't worry about that. So on your next turn, you draw another card. And I wouldn't pot a duality just because you're most likely going to special summon, because you normal summon Altair, and then you'd special summon the Deneb, and then add with Deneb. And normally just add another Altair and keep doing that until you win, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much your Deneb and Altair combo. That's pretty basic. You're going to be doing that a lot. And now another really important card of this deck is Vega and Yugioh Kalhai. I'll show you a couple other options that you can do with this deck. Here's another hand that you might draw with Satellarknights. When you have Yugioh Kalhai and Altair in the same hand, generally you just want to summon Yugioh Kalhai and get your Deneb in the grave. That way you can just get Deneb out with Altair next turn. Don't try to go hard and get all this stuff out in one turn. Just kind of sit on your Yugioh Kalhai, because he's an 1800 attack beater, so there's not a lot of stuff that can get over him, and even if so, you've got your deep prison set. And even if he does get destroyed, it's not the end of the world, because you have Altair, so you can just bring one of them out next turn. Alright, I'll show you another situation. Okay, well here's another example of stuff you might draw. You might open with a Vega and a Yugioh Kalhai and a Rhoda. Now normally you might automatically think that you have to Rhoda for Deneb, but that's not always the case. Deneb's not always the best card to Rhoda for. In this case, I would get an Altair to my hand, and this is the reason why. After you get Altair to your hand, you can summon Yugioh Kalhai and just send a Deneb to the grave. That way, instead of just getting Deneb and then sending another Deneb to the grave, you can get more monsters from your deck out to the graveyard in hand, and it just works a lot better this way. A lot of people will make the mistake in always adding Deneb and always adding Altair with Deneb, which isn't always the case either. So set your Alpha and your Book of Moon, wait to see what happens. You can negate something out with Alpha and send him to the grave, and it's not a big deal, because on your next turn you can summon Vega and special Altair, special Deneb and search, and so forth. Another mistake people might make is their first turn summon Vega and then Yugioh Kalhai just get 2 monsters out. I would not do that. I would just summon your Yugioh Kalhai, so next turn you can get out 3 Satellarknight monsters and go for either Trive or Deltaros, because if you put both of them out first turn, they could both get destroyed and you're kind of out of luck, so I would wait to play your Vega. Okay, so those are just a couple of scenarios of what you might draw. Basically with this deck, you're just recycling from your grave and trying to get all the monster cards from your deck to your grave and field, because you're not playing that many with Satellarknights. You're normally only playing like 10 or 11, depending on your deck build. So just try to recycle those cards, make smart plays. Getting Deneb to the hand isn't always the best choice. You might be able to send him to the grave with Yugioh Kalhai. So, yep, that's it. This is how to Yu-Gi-Oh!